Okay. אין הקדוש ברוך הוא נפרד מן האומה אשר שילוחה שנאמר בסוסו בשלחו תריבנו. So he learns it from this pasuk. From this pasuk, that because said the saw with the saw that they did to the Jews, when they getting rid of them, they'll get even with them. So now, if you skip now a few lines. And it says, Ameima Masni. Huh?
No, don't even need to get the Gemara. No, the link inside is done. That's it, yeah.
So now, skip a few lines, about 6-7 lines, and there's a line that starts with the word Ameima. All a meme is going to be moisiv is that the B'chin of Papa based it on a different pasuk, not on this pasuk. But so Riveno. So look, that's where we're up to actually. A meme masnig hodder of B'chin of Papa aha. You know, a meme taught that the B'chin of Papa is saying is based
on a different pasuk.
On a different. My diksiv, ki ani Hashem lo shanisi, v'atam b'nei Yaakov lo chilisim. So he teaches as a, ani Hashem lo shanisi, lo hikisi, lo umo v'shanisi bo. I didn't strike a nation 2 times. When I strike them, I get rid of them. But v'atam b'nei Yaakov lo chilisim, what's special about b'nei Yaakov? Hainu diksiv. Amar Amnuna, Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu nifra min ha'adam asher tamale.
You skipped the one.
Yeah, Rabbi, you skipped
I
the
skipped the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Chitze achala, Hainu diksiv chitze achala, bom, chitze kolin. I use up my my arrows over Hainu kolin. The Jewish people are not destroyed. This is just what it's like a comment. First they said from one person, so they said that a man said that he based the view in a different pasuk. Okay. Zat the Gemara. Amar Rav Nuna, Rav Nuna said, Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu nifra min ha'adam acher tismalu sosai. Shenema b'mlois safkei yetzeroi. When it fills up, then he'll have trouble. Okay, now we're going a different thing entirely. Darash B'chin of Papa is another saying from B'chin of Papa. Many times in the Gemara, once they quote a saying from a person, they also bring other things that they're not connected one thing with another. So he says another saying, the B'chin of Papa said, "My diksiv, Ranu Sadiqim B'Hashem, Vayishorim Nova Sehila." Now the word Nova means it's nice. In other words, it's nice praise. So he says, "Atika Nova Tehila Ella Nevei Tehila." In other words, Nova without an aleph means a residence. So he's saying that the residence of the Shoyim is praiseworthy. Zem Moshe v'David. This pasuk refers to Moshe and David. Shaloi sholtu san'ayim b'masayim. That the sonim that wanted to make trouble, they didn't destroy the things that they made. David diksiv tavu ba'ora shoreho. But David says that the gates went into the ground. In other words, the bais was destroyed, but They didn't take it away and destroy it. They went into the ground. And Moshe, what's about Moshe? The Amamar, Mishenivna Migdash Rishon, once the first base of Migdash was built, Nignazu Oyel Moyed Karoshav, Karosov, Vrichov, Vamuda, Vadona. All these parts of the Mishkan were hidden. They also.
How come he starts with David if Moshe came first?
That's a good question, and I think he talks about it in the Ben Ish Chai, but I don't remember what he answers. The Gemara Hechen. Where did it go? Amar Chizda, Amar Vimi, Tachas Mechila Shel Hechel. There were tunnels under the base of Mikdash, and they went into the tunnels.
That's about the Shorim, or that's also the crush of and the
All these things from the Mishkan.
All the things in the Mishkan.
No, there's two things. There's the Shorim
Okay.
of David.
Now we're going back to Sotah. So he says, Tana Rabbanan. Sotah nasneina b'mishein roilo. A Sotah put her eye on someone that wasn't someone else's husband or what, but it's not her husband. She has a husband. Masha Biksha Le'nitnala. She wanted to establish a friendship or relationship, and she didn't get it. Uma Shabiyoda, and what she did have, Natrula Mimena, she even lost what she did have. Shakola Hanoisen Einov, B'masha Eina Shalai, whoever puts his eye and tries to get something that's not his, it doesn't belong to him. Masha Mevakesh Ein Noisenlai, Umasha Biyodai Noitel Mimena. That's what happens. And then the Gemara gives examples of such instances. The Chaim of Sina we find B'Nochash HaKadmoni. The Nochash with Chava, Shenosan Eino B'Masha Eina Roilai, he put his eye on something on Chava, which really is not connected with him, no relation to him. Umasha Bikesh Loi Nosnalet. And Umar Shabiyoda Natru, he even lost what he did have. So the Gemara explains this one. Omar Kadosh Baruch Hu, David said, Ani Amati, I said, Yehei Melech Hakol Behema B'chaya. He should be the king of the animal, of all the animals. But Achsha now, Oruhu Mikola Behema Mikola Chaya. He was cursed. Mikola Chaya Sasodam. Ani Amati, I said, Yahal became a scooper. The Nachash used to walk up like on 2 feet, like. And Achshav al Gechayna Yelech. Now let him go on his stomach. Ani Amati, I said, Yehei Machol Machol Adam, that he should eat the same food that people eat. Achshav Offer Yechel. He's going to end up getting offer. He said, Adam. This was his plan. I will kill Adam. Ve'esa es Chava, and I will marry Chava, because he was going around just like a person. Achshav now, Eva Oshes bein Cho ubein Isha, ubein Zara ubein Zaracho ubein Zara. Now the Gemara gives. The Gemara doesn't go into the details, but the Gemara gives other examples of such instances. B'chein motzino b'kayin. You find it by Kayin. Kayin wanted to kill Hevel, and there was an extra to Uma, so that he wanted to marry that to Uma also, that twin. V'kairach, we know what that means. Ubilam, so Rashi says Bilam wanted to get the money from Balak. He said immediately, Balak Malay basic Hesed Azor. He had a good eye on it, but he ended up running away with nothing. V'dayig, that was times of David, V'achitaifel, V'gechzi, V'avshalom, V'adoniyahu, Vuziyahu v'Haman and Haman. Haman, we know that he wanted to kill all the Jews, and through the Jews he was killed. They put the eye on what not fit, does not belong to them. What they wanted, they didn't get. Okay. Now the Gemara goes back to Sotah. This said in the Mishnah. That the first connection was through the Yerech. So the where do you get that from? We see that first was cursed her thigh and then was cursed her stomach. That the so you can't bring any proof from this. Amr Abaye. So Abaye says no. The Raya is taken from the pasuk. Are you bringing me a pasuk different? The answer is because ki layet chila yerech v'hada betem. In other words, when he cursed them, why does he curse first? The first part is the curse. So why does he curse first the yerech? Because that's where it began. But umaya ki botku ki chaya botku beten bereisha v'hada yerech. So when you drink, it goes down your stomach. So first it hits your stomach, and then it goes to the lower parts of the body. Fragt die Gemara, B'kol namik siv latzvas botan v'yampel yarach. That's when he told her what's going to happen. So mentions also first the button and then the yarach. So the Gemara, who the moidelu kohen, that pasuk is that way because the kohen lets her know. The beten bereisha, v'hada yerach, shelo haitzilas al mayim amarim. She didn't know that curse and everything is against the yerach. She'll say, you see, nothing happened to my yerach. So it didn't work. What happened to me? It was something else. Now let's see the next Mishnah. Shimshon holach acha enov. Shimshon, the shayfet, he followed his eyes. L'ficha, therefore, nokru plishtim es enov. The plishtim who he was fighting with, they poked out his eyes. Shenema, vayachzu plishtim, vayinakru es enov. Avshalom, who was the son of David, Nizgoy Besada, he prided himself with the hair that he had. He took a hair once a year and he got the hair grow long. Leficha Nitra Besada, when he was killed, he drove under a tree and he got caught with the hair into the tree. Ufisha Bo Al Esa Pilakshe Oviv. David had a number of pilakshim, that's concubines, and he had relation with 10 of them. So Leficha Nosnava Esa Gun V'yos, they stuck him with 10 spears. Shenema V'y Yisaibu Asar Anoshim, 10 people surrounded him. Noisek Lei Yayev. And the Shaitan that the Sarah Anoshim, each stuck a spear into him. Ufisha Gona Gimel Genevis, because he deceived three times or in three ways. Leiv Ovid, V'leiv Bezdin, V'leiv Yisrael. We'll see later in the Gemara, he wanted to become a melech instead of Shlomo Melech. So and he invited them to a korban, to a festivity. Shenem vayignev Avshalom es leiv anshe Yisrael. L'ficha nisku by gimel shvatim. The shape of it also is a type of a spear, a sword. Shenema vayikar shreisha shor No, Vayikol Shloisha Shvatim, Bekapai, Vayiskein Belev Avshalom. He took 3 swords and he stuck them into Avshalom when they killed Avshalom. V'chein Ve'inyan HaTayv. So all this is talking about not good things. He said V'chein Ve'inyan HaTayv also by a good thing. So the Eibush also rewards like Mida Keneged Mida. Miriam and Tina Moshe Shah Achas. Miriam waited when Moshe was put into the water. So Miriam stood over there for an hour to see what's going to happen. And then one came, the daughter of Parai. Shenema Batasatsa Vachosim Eirachik. She stood at a distance. V'ficha Nisakbogo Yisrael Zayin Yom. Therefore the Yidden, when she became a tzeras, they didn't travel. They waited 7 days. Bamidban the midbar. Shenem va'om lanosa adayosa Miriam till Miriam came back. Because a Mitzayra or Mitzaras is out of Chutz Lamachna. Yosef Zochel Likper Esav. Yosef was Zochel to be Mekaber Yaakov. Ve'ein ba'achim nodum gadol mimenu. In other words, he was the biggest of the brothers, or the choshus of the brothers. And Shenema Vayal Yosef Likper Esav. Vayal Ima Gam Rechev Gam Parashim. Now, so the greatest, just like Yosef was the greatest, took care of the burial of Yaakov. The same thing, Moshe was the greatest, took care of the burial of Yosef. Moshe zacha ba'atzmas Yosef, and be'ein begodam b'imenu. So you see how the rewards go. Shenema vayikach Moshe atzmas Yosef imay. Mi Godom mi Moshe, Shrenisasa ba'el hamakam Davish Shenema, vayigba Isai begai. So now the Mishnah concludes, Loya Moshe Bovad, Amru. Not only in the case of Moshe was it said that the greatest took care of him, Ella Al-Kol Tzadikim, Shenema. So you see that the Eibush buries also the tzaddikim. Incidentally, on Vayigba Isa Begai, when the Rebbe when the Friedrich Rebbe came to America, they used to give out a journal called Hakriya Vakdusha. It went on for a few years during the war, during the years of the Second World War. And there's questions who wrote the article. Some say that the Rebbe wrote the article. There's a lot of talk about it. And at that time, Yiddish was very popular. Yeah, they used to have the Arbitering Shule and the Shalom Aleichem Shule, where they stressed Yiddish. Even where the Koil was learning today, on Eastern Parkland, over there was the Verband, was Yiddishisten. So the Yiddishisten were very much into Yiddish, so they popularized a Chumash with Yiddish Taich. And the name of the Chumash was Yehoyash. I don't know if anyone ever saw it, but Yehoyash was the name.
Kosher Chumash?
Huh?
Kosher?
It goes through the whole Chumash.
But it's kosher? It's like acceptable?
No, it's not. I'm telling you, so in the Kriya Vakdusha, there were articles against Yehoyash to show that Yehoyash wasn't an El Chayid and had a Munah. One of the things that they showed was
And had a Munah?
he wasn't. He didn't have a Munah. One of the things that they showed against Yehoyash was that Yehoyash he teaches Vayigba Isa Begai Min Hatem Bagrabim. And we touch Vayigba goes on the Eibishter. But they didn't want to say it because by them it doesn't make sense. So they said Mehatem Bagrabim. That was one of the things in Hakriya Vakdusha that they showed against Yehoyash.
That's his person's name, Yehoyash?
Yeah, Yehoyash was the name of a person, and he wrote a piece on Chumash. Okay, let's go now to the Gemara. Turn Rabbana. Shimshon be'ein of Morad Where do we find that Shimshon rebelled with his eyes? Shenema, Vayema Shimshon al Aviv. Shimshon said to his father, Oisa kachi, take her from me. I want to marry her. Ki yishara be'enai. She said because she looks good to me. Therefore, the Plishtim attacked him, and Nokra pushed him asaynu. Shenema, v'yavzu Plishtim, v'yinakru asaynu. Practicing Mora, Aini, you're putting it all on his eyes. V'ksiv, the pasuk says, v'over v'imoy v'yodu ki me Hashem hu. That this whole connection, this whole meeting and everything was all planned by Hashem, that the Eibusha wanted that Hashem should marry her. Is that the Gemara? Ki me Hashem hu, is that the Gemara? Ki also, mi bosa yashusa also. He didn't do it with Shem Shemayim. The Eibusha directed it, but his working wasn't with Shem Shemayim. Rabbi Tanya, Rabbi says, Tchilas Kokolei be'Azo, his first downfall was in the city of Azo. V'fika Loka be'Azo, he was struck in Azo. So the Gemara explains, V'fika Tchilas Kokolei be'Azo, the Ksev, Vayeru Shimshon Azosa, he went to Azo. Vayasham Isha Zaina, he saw Isha Zaina. So he put his eye on her. Ufira Loka Ba'azo Diksev Vayeridu Oisai Azosa. In fact, the Gemara Vaksiv, the pasuk says Vayeri Shimshon Timnasa, that he went to Timna, not to Aza. That the Gemara Tchilas Kukolan Ba'aza Mia Ba'aza. The first, all the way in the beginning, it was all the trouble started in Azra. Vahi Achrei came afterwards. Vayev Isha Benachal Shuruk Ushma Deligo. Zak the Gemara Tana Rabbi said Imole Lenik Ushma Deligo. If her name wasn't, if she didn't have that name, Ru'uya Haisa Shatika. It was fit for her. Anyway, you know, she definitely matches her name. Why? Deliga means moving. Dildala as kaichai, she moved his strength. Dildala as ribai, she moved his heart. Dildala as masav, and she moved his turn. She had a bad impression on her. So Gemara explains now. Dildalo kaichai. What does it mean that she moved away? I skipped the line.
No.
Dildalo is kaichai diksev. Vayosa kaicham olav. He lost the strength. Dildalo is ribai diksev. Vatayda delila. Kihiga lo as called liba, that he spilled out to her his whole heart. And dildalas myself, the astalic shchina minay, the shchina moved away from him. The ksiv said the pasuk, v'hu yoda ki Hashem sor me'olav. Vatayda the lila, the second pasuk is that the lila saw kihiga lo as called liba. How did she affect the Gemara? How did she know? What sign did she have that he revealed the whole truth to her? Rabbi Nikodim Divrei Emes. When a person says something, you can recognize if he's telling you the truth or not. So over here you can see that he told the truth. Abaya says, Yoda by Tzaddik, she knew that her husband, the Tzaddik, the way Mapik Shem Shemayim Luvatola, that he wouldn't mention the Eibishter's name in vain. Kivan the Oma, Nazar Elakim on Ani, I'm a Nazar to the Eibishter, so he mentioned the Eibishter. Amr, so she said, Hashta Vadai Kushta Kama. Now he definitely told the truth. He's mentioned the Eibishter, assuming he told the truth. Then the pasuk says, "Vayiki hitzika loy bidvorah." She tortured him with her words. That the Gemara kol hayomim vayiki hitzika bidvorah kol hayomim vatal tzeil. That the Gemara my vatal tzeil. What does it mean vatal tzeil? It means it also made it very uncomfortable. Amar of Tzaddik. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Devei Rabbi Amar, B'shor Gemar Bia Nishamto Me'al Tachta. She would slip out, and that she made him feel very uncomfortable. Now the pasuk says, V'ata Hishamri no, V'altishti Yayin, V'shecha. Don't drink wine or beer. The al taichi kol tamei. So, in fact, the Gemara, my kol tamei. What does it mean? What does it mean by not eating? What's tamei? The Suan, another question. Ad hashta devarim tameim ka'achon. This is the instruction that the Malach gave to his mother. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak devei Rabami. It means the bottom hasurim b'noza. You should be careful to not. What does it mean by tamei? Not to eat anything that a noza is not allowed to eat. V'yivka elakim es ha machtash asher belechim. That means that this the animal in the jaw has water, stores water. So it means that he broke it. He broke he was dying from thirst, so he needed water. So he broke the jaw, and he got water. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Devei Rabbi Amar, Devei Rabbi Ami, who evil without tamei, he had a desire for something that was tamei. So his life was saved by this animal who was not a kosher animal. Then there's a pasuk that says, "But Teichal Ruach Hashem," the wisdom of Hashem began. So the Gemara, Omar Rav Chama Bachanina, Cholson Nevuasa Sheyakov Avinu. The nevuah of Yaakov Avinu was beginning to show itself. The Ksiv said in pasuk, "He don nochash al derech, v'famoy b'machne don." No, because he said he don nochash al derech. Then there's a pasuk, "V'famoy b'machne don." Amr Reb Yitzchak, Devei Reb Ami, Muhammad shoyse Shechina mekashkeshes u'fonav. The Shechina was like dancing in front of him. Ksiv hachal v'famoy b'machne don. Ksiv hasam paman v'riman, just like Tam V'rim makes noise, like dancing when the kohen wears the me'il. So on the bottom there's like music. The same thing also. The Shechina would dance in front of him.
It would knock like a bell.
Yeah, like a bell.
Tingling.
Now it's said in pasuk ben Tzira ubein Ashtel, Omar Rab Asi. Tzira v'Ashtel shnei harim gedayim. There were two big mountains. V'akam Shimshon uprooted them. V'tachan on zebezeh, and he ground them by putting one against the other. Now there's another pasuk. Who yachal l'shiyas Yisrael. He will start to help the Yidden. He was the shayfet. Amar Rab Chama b'Rab Chanina, Huchal Shvuasa Sharabi Melech. In other words, it says the word Huchal, Yachal, Shia, Huchal means it became bottle. It's going Chal, Yachal Devorah. There's a pasuk by in Matas. Huchal Shvuasa Sharabi Melech. The Ksiv Im Tishkali, when Esav made up with Yankov, so they made the deal
Lovin. It was Lovin, no?
with Lavan. In Tishkali and Hini Nechti, if you will
It
swap.
says over here
Oh,
Avimelech.
Avimelech. Avimelech.
Avimelech.
Avimelech.
Yeah,
It's,
Avimelech.
And now
Yeah, with the Be'eris.
that Plishtim, who was an Anakel from him, started a war with Yisrael. So now it was permissible for Shimshon to lead an army against them. Yeshet and possibly Yigdal Hana Vayibacheu Hashem. So Timora Bama Becha, what special bracha did he have? Omar Rav Yehuda Omar Rav Shebechoi Ba'amosai. That's the Eva. That he had a special koyach in his penis. Amosai Kibnei Adam. He had his Eva was normal like anyone else, and Vizare Kanachal Shaitav, and he was full with zera, kept flowing and flowing. I once told someone that they sent out a bar mitzvah invitation, and they wrote the pasuk, Vayigdal Ana Vayibocheu. And I told them, you know what the Gemara says.
Don't use that.
You wouldn't put it on the invitation. So Vayayma Shimshon said, Hashem Elokim, Zochreini no, remember me, V'chaskeni, and strengthen me, Achapam, one more time, give me my strength. V'inokmo nakam achas mishtei einai, we pushed him, and I will take my revenge one last time from the Plishtim. Amar Rav said, Amar Shimshon v'nei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shimshon said to the Hebrews, Rebbeinu Shalom, Zechorli, remember for me, Esem Shona, the 20 years, Sheshafatati es Yisrael, that I judged the Jewish people, V'lo Yamati v'echad mehem, and I didn't ask one of them, Have li makar mimokom, even to move my stick from one place to the other. Vayelu Shimshon, so Shimshon went, Vayilkoid Shloish Meir Shu'olim, he took 300 foxen, and he tied them all together. The whole story over there, he tied all the tails together. So, in fact, the Gemara, Maishna Shu'olim, why did he pick fox? So, the Gemara, Amar Rav Eva B'Reb Nagdi, Amar Rav Chia Bar Abba, Amar Shimshon. The fox has a nature of jumping backwards. So he said, Yavai Misha Chayzel Achayrev, V'Yifrim, he pushed him, Shechazru B'Shuasam, and take revenge and punish the Plishtim that they backed out from this shvur that we just spoke about before. So the Gemara Tanya Amar of Shimon Achasad. It's not Shimshon, it's Shimon Achasad. Ben Kseipa Shel Shimshon Shishim Amma. He was very broad-shouldered. 60 amas. 60 amas could be like about 100 feet. Hoya Shenema Vayishkav Shimshon at Chasi Alayla. Shimshon slept till midnight. Vayokam B'Chasi Alayla, and he got up at midnight. Vayechais B'Dlosei Shar Ha'ir. He got the hold of the doors, Ubishtei Mezuzahs, and the doorposts. Vayisoim Al Im Habriach, and he got them off together with the hinges. Vayosam Al Kaseitel, and Gemidi we know the Ein Drosas Asa Pechusas Mishisham Amma. So it shows that his shoulders were 60 amas wide. Vahi Teicham Bebeis Hasurim, he was grinding. He was put into jail. So he was grinding it. What does it mean? Omer Rabbi Yechanan, Ein Techina El Roshan Aveda. That means that he was doing znus over there. V'cheinu Omer Titchan L'Acher Ishti, that if my wife goes to someone else, Muhammad Shekol Echad Ve'echad Hevi Loi Es Ishtei Lebeis Hasurim, Kidei Shetisaba Heimenu. Everyone wanted that they should have a child that should be like Shimshon. Amar Papa Haina Dama Inshi. Kame de Shosi Chamra. If you want to bring a present, so if you want to bring a present to someone that drinks wine, you should bring Chamra, you should bring wine. Kame Afuka Greda the Zavla. I mean, if you come to a farmer, you should bring him vegetables. V'amara Yechanan Kol Mazana Ishta Mazanenes Olav. If he does this, his wife also will follow suit. Shenama Im Nifta Libi Al Isha Val Pesach Rei Arabasi. My wife will go to the door of my friend. Uksiv Titchan La'acha Ishtain Bola Yichran. And behind the dome inchi iu bekari beitze bei betzine. In other words, he goes for big vegetables, so she will go for small vegetables. B'omer Rabbi Yochanan Shimshon Donas Yisol Kaviyin Shebeshamayim. He was dedicated to Yidden like the Eibishter. Shenema Don Yodin Amay Ki Echad, but Ki Echad like the Eibishter who's Echad. Omer Rabbi Yochanan Shimshon Al Shmoy Shal Kodesh Baruch Hu Nikra. He was called Shimshon Shenema Ki Shemesh Umogen Avaya Elokim. In fact, the Gemara Elam Ato Lo Yimocha. So if Shimshon is a holy name, then you shouldn't be allowed to erase it. Elo Me'ein Shmoy Shal Kodesh Baruch Hu Ma Kodesh Baruch Hu Megan Akol Oyam Kulay Av Shimshon Megan B'Doirei Al Yisrael, just like the Eibishter. It's not 20 yet.
It's not 20 yet, you said.
No, they changed it.